Hey guys, welcome to Nerdarchy for Nerds by Nerds. I'm Ted, hanging out with
Dave.
And today we got an interesting little topic. We're going to go over a rules light RPG called One Line.
Okay, before we do that, though, head down to the description below where you can check out Nerdarchy, the newsletter, where you can get weekly tips from us as well as learn how to game with Nerdarchy.
So I saw this on Facebook today. It's put out by DBJ or Devay Breon Jackson.
Yeah, he's got a pretty good YouTube channel. I'll try to remember to link it in the description below so you guys can check him out.
But if you can see this, it's literally one page of rules to play the game. And as late as it is, I can literally just read it for you. It says, capability, focus, and purpose. Create a statement that represents your character. This can also be expressed as an adjective noun that verbs. Your capability is how you take action or interact with the world. Your focus represents your skills or hosts of talents. Purpose is your motivation, additional talents, or even special abilities that make you unique. Examples: a wealthy merchant with connections, a noble knight seeking redemption, a streetwise cyber soldier in it for the money, a wide-eyed farm boy who takes the form of animals, a vigilant urban ninja that punishes criminals. So the rules are: roll a d6, roll an additional d6 for each capability, focus, and or purpose that is acceptable for the scene. Choose any one die and describe the result as below. Note that your purpose may not offer a bonus die, but instead allow you a special ability such as flight, shape-changing, or psionics. On a 1, it's a failure and. On a 2, it's failure. 3 is a failure but. 4 is a success but. 5 is a success. 6 is a success and. Story points. Earn a story point on if you roll a natural 1 and choose that die result. Spend a story point to re-roll a single die from yourself or others, taking the most advantageous roll. So that's it for the rules. So it's very rules light.
Yeah, AJ Pickett did something similar with the die for, and it's also very it's really like if you take Fate Accelerated and boil it down even further.
Right. Because there's no attributes. There's no there's nothing that says hit points. So it's literally like, okay, you're trying to do something.
I've seen other systems like this, and it really is just about the narration. And there is a random element which they're using the die 6 for. But even if you look at how the success and failure works, there's a lot of room for narration in there.
Right.
Well, there's only out of 6 options, only 2 of them is it works, it doesn't work. Right. Everything else is
either an and or a but.
And yes.
And with our exposure to the Star Wars mechanic, that really allows us to see things like that. It's like, okay, you've succeeded, but something else happened.
Right, because of the way the narrative dice play out.
Right. So I think that really opens things up for very interesting situations, and really I think the theme of the game is going to make for sweeping changes to what you can do with this.
Yes.
It's like, oh, are you playing a superhero game? Are you playing a fantasy game? Are you, I think this would fit really well with like a Harry Dresden, street level situation. I don't know, what's your take?
So, okay, so one, when Ted saw this today in the One Shot group, I believe, over on Facebook. So he printed it out and showed me, hey, I got this thing you want to do a video, and I'm like, I looked at the name, I'm like, oh, I know who the guy is who did it. He's done some video responses to us in the past, and he's got a YouTube channel, and he usually has some interesting things to say. So I was like, oh, cool. So I was like, well, let's go over to his YouTube channel and see if he's done a video on this.
Right.
I was really disappointed to see that he didn't. I mean, it's an interesting concept.
So, calling you out, DBJ, put a video up on your one line.
Please. Or as Ted put it, he just demands, just do it now.
Well, it's a call out. I'm not demanding. Just, it's up to him.
But, yeah. So, it's a cool concept. We can't reprint it anywhere because it's not ours.
Right.
So, we will put a link to his channel over down below in the description. And maybe if you guys pester him, you know, he'll put it up somewhere where you guys can take a look at it. I like it, especially like say something like this is great for, you know, you were supposed to have your regular gaming session, but like half the people didn't show up, or you know, or something, or you're supposed to have your normal gaming session, and more people show up than are supposed to be there. And you're like, what do I do? You know, I don't want to continue with the normal game. Hey, I can run this, and everyone could literally create a character in like 5 minutes. Get out of die 6.
Sentence.
Yeah. Get out of die 6 and just wing a narrative. And you know, this system lends itself to, you know, your players contributing to the story even more so. I mean, the dice themselves, I feel like should lend to player agency. Like those ends and buts, like as a game master, I would allow the players to fill them in as long as they honored the feel and the flavor of the game.
Absolutely.
You know, because clearly the failure end, you know, has to be something bad, even bad, you know, worse. But you know, so if as a player, if you have a group that can really get into that and have fun with making bad things happen to their characters, it's great.
Absolutely.
You know, I've seen a lot of really good role players excel at that. And I've also seen, you know, not so good role players who are always trying to win the game.
Yes.
You know, unfortunately.
So a thought popped into my head while we were chatting. As this is so rules light, you could literally have this be like a game within a game.
Okay.
Either you're playing like a high magic world, and you know you've got the ability to like, oh well, we're gonna create a, you know, demi-plane where characters compete for prizes and stuff, so you can enter your, you know, your idea of what you are into this thing, and you know.
So what you're saying is almost like either a virtual reality game, a virtual magic game, or a role-playing game within the role-playing game.
Yes. The cat popped into my head. I figured it was really cool. You know, like if you're in a high sci-fi world, you know, it could be like as opposed to, you know, Chewie and C-3PO playing, you know, virtual chess. They could be, you know, virtual combatants using that system.
I'm almost seeing this like in a gambling hall, right?
Absolutely.
With a large table, and on that table, it's kind of like sunken in, and it's a labyrinth. You know, and you know, so like different gamblers are given their character, you know, or their totem, whatever you want to call it, their pawn, their guy, and they all enter the labyrinth at different times, and like the objective is to reach the center of the labyrinth. And conquer any kind of like monsters or challenges that happen, but like the table is essentially like a magic item,
right?
You know, so it creates like their virtual player, you know, whatever it is, and it would absolutely be like a role playing game in the sense that, you know, you have a character that's given to you, that's created, and then you get the virtual illusionary version of it that you then kind of essentially control through your voice and your words.
Right.
You know, but then the table has a mind of its own, and it'll do things like the pit will open up in front of your character, and then like according to your focus, your purpose, and what's the other one?
Focus, purpose, and capability.
And capabilities. You know, you're gonna roll however many die 6 to see if you can avoid the pit. You know, you know, and it would be really cool. Like, say they roll the 1, I roll the 1 to leap over the pit, and I'm about to clear it, and I don't, because tentacles reach out of it, pulling my character into it, where he's got to fight the octopus monster.
Right.
You know, or whatever. You know, so you could definitely have a lot of fun with an idea like that.
So you know, not only can you have a way to, you know, have a gaming night that, oh, too many people or not enough people show up and you're going to try this, but literally if you've got the not enough people, if the characters want to enter the gambling hall and play a little round of this to occupy
monsters and mazes, you know.
So, what do you guys think? Again, we can't post the article, but what do you think of one line? Put your thoughts and comments down below. While you're at it, like, share, even subscribe.
And while you're at it, you can check us out over on Facebook.
So until next time, stay nerdy.